Welcome to TradingLounge and the US Indices, and looking at the SP 500 here where we left off from yesterday. We haven't seen much movement as such, so I'm just going to clean this up a little bit here and retune this in a little bit. There's a couple of different ways to look at this, but on the intraday level, I think we need to look at it like this here. With the A wave sitting here, and let me just, I've got this on the tick chart in more detail, so that's what we'll be looking at in a second. So this could actually rally a little bit higher into this area here before moving, don't need that one, oops. Not to worry, just get rid of this. So we could rally back to the 28.50 here. So just be a little bit mindful of that if you see a rally, but it shouldn't be too long-lived. It will be in 5 waves. So far, this down here is looking like an ABC pattern here, and then we'll see 2, 3, 4, maybe not all the way up. We'll see, and then we'll be looking at 5 waves down here. Something of this nature here. It's a little bit of a guessing game, all of this, of course, but in that when it gets corrective, obviously impulse waves are pretty simple, you know, and they can't really go outside their 5-wave structures once they start. But when you're working in patterns that are working in threes, then they can double and they can triple and so on. So yeah, let's go in and just have a look at this little structure down through here. I'll just save that first. So we're not really missing anything here. I mean, our main game, and this is also with equities as well, is that we're just really waiting for this to come out to play here. This is for the Asian market as well here. So let's go into the tick chart here, 100 ticks. Smaller ticks work quite well as well if you really want to drill into 20 ticks and so on. But look, I've counted this down here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for 1 and back for 2, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the third wave. And I could have counted this here like I was doing yesterday as an A and a B and a C over here, then down 5 waves down through to here. But what it's left me is it's left me 5 waves moving up through here. So that's why I've labelled it even a more complex wave 4 across here, because I'm left with 5 waves down here and 3 waves moving up through here. So I'm thinking, well, it's possible that this B wave could be sitting on top of here as well, and we go further down from this point. But I think that we need to allow this to play out here. So this move down through here is in 5 waves and 3 waves back for the B wave here. So this will play it as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, come down onto this old low here somewhere. So that's where I'm thinking that we'll get a bounce back up here in 5 waves, maybe only to the tops here. Yeah, up into this space here, and then coming down from that point there. Look, I could certainly be wrong. I have to look at all the evidence and then weigh up the probabilities of that evidence, and that's where it is at the moment. But this could certainly give us, this could be down for 1 here, back for 2 here, and then coming down for 3 here and 4 here and 5 here. So that's on the cards. But even so, you know, when we're looking at the 2800 here, or even any number, this is a minor level here, so always look to the next degree lower, and that would be the sub-level. So 1, 2, and 3 here is group 1. So we can see that the market is, you know, fairly well locked into this space here. If the 28 becomes the resistance, then the support will be the next sub-level group down, which is group 2, the 65, 72, and the 80 here. So yeah, a quick trade between, you know, in this space here would be fine once the 28 becomes the resistance here. But we should be looking at shorts support there. In a nutshell here, the length of wave A here should roughly be the length of wave C coming in. So if this is 1 and 2 here, and then coming down for 3, 4, and 5, it shouldn't go that far. And if we're going to go long again, once it's down here and it's given us here, then we want to look for support as well. So allowing the market to find support here, and then getting support back on the 28 would give us our first long trade to the upside, then building in through group 1 here. And once the 30 here becomes the tested support, then you know that we're going to be moving up from that point, and we'll be taking that high out over here. So yeah, we just really need to allow this to be here, to play out here. Of course, everything's sort of tradable, but looking for smaller, a reasonable trend to the upside here is really sort of where we're at this stage here. So just be a little bit mindful with this situation in here, because it's really trapped. I always see that I have to draw on this side of the price that when you're working with a number, go to the next smaller degree above and below, because that's really where the correction is going to sort of play out, and you need the correction to mature to a point where we can say, okay, that's it, we can move in from that point. But trying to guess our way through a wave 4, which is normally complicated, and wave B can be complicated. If wave 2 is simple, then wave 4 can be complex. And that's the same with the corrective as well. If wave A is simple, then wave B can be complex, or it could be more simple as well. So it's that guideline of alternation. But this is the trap. You don't want to lose money in this particular space here, in group 1 and group 2 here, working with a number. You want the whole pattern to mature, so giving a higher probability of the next trend that we're looking for. All right, I'll just leave it at that. This really just needs to play out. Alrighty, cheers.